Welcome to Reality Distortions. This is part 3 of our deep dive on the Taylor Parker case. Up until this point, Taylor had controlled every conversation she was in. She managed her boyfriend, her friends, and her family through sheer manipulation. But now she's sitting in a hospital bed at McCartan Memorial, surrounded by detectives who already know she has no uterus. If you appreciate deep dives, behavioral breakdowns of true crime cases, make sure to hit that subscribe button right now. And before we look at the transcripts, our standard platform reminder. This footage and text are part of an official and concluded criminal investigation utilized here for documentary and commentary purposes. Viewers' discretion is advised. Today, we are analyzing the actual audio and body cam details from Taylor's hospital interrogation. Watch how fast a pathological liar shifts gears when her initial story completely flatlines. When the detectives first push Taylor on why her medical exam doesn't show any signs of childbirth, she realizes that the highway birth story is dead.
But you didn't give birth this morning.
What do you mean?
That's what I just said. You didn't give birth this morning. And we want to know where this baby came from. So what happened?
I just told y'all what happened.
Okay. What's the doctor going to find when he comes in and checks you? Is he going to find you just gave birth? They can tell. When he looks, he can tell in about a second if you gave birth or not.
Okay.
Instead of confessing, her brain instantly constructs a brand new narrative to deflect the blame. She tells the investigators that she went over to Reagan's house and an argument broke out. In the transcript, she tells detectives she grabbed a hold of me, told me that I was a liar. We both hit each other.
She grabbed hold of the back of my head and smashed it into the floor because I remember my nose was bleeding. But then I turned around and did the same to her.
She claims that Reagan became violent first, pushing her against the table. Taylor tries to paint herself as the victim of a mutual physical altercation that simply went too far. Let's have our reality distortion check. Look closely at what she's doing here. This is a classic narcissistic defense mechanism. When completely cornered with undeniable physical evidence, the manipulator doesn't deny that the event occurred. Instead, they rewrite the power dynamic. She tries to convince the police that a heavily pregnant 35-week mother was the primary physical aggressor against her. As the detectives stay calm and keep digging, Taylor's excuses become increasingly surreal. She tells the investigators that during the fight, Reagan allegedly fell on her own scalpel. She states, "I didn't stab her. She grabbed it and started smacking herself with it, and told me that they will believe I did it."
She grabbed something and started smacking herself with it and told me that they would believe I did it.
Oh, okay. So she started hitting herself with something. Okay. What, was that before or after she fell and started bleeding out of her neck?
That was after.
After she was bleeding out of her neck?
Yes.
Okay.
Think about that. She wants the police to believe that Reagan Hancock inflicted over 100 wounds on her own body just to frame Taylor. And then comes her explanation for the cesarean section. Taylor tells detectives that after the fight, they both realized Reagan was dying. She claims Reagan looked up at her and explicitly screamed, "Take her. Save the baby." Taylor asserts that she performed the croup surgery purely as an act of mercy, at the victim's own insistence.
I kept screaming.
That she had. So imagine it was laying there handy, or did you go get another knife?
No. I kept screaming for her to push.
Hmm. Okay.
She said, "Take her."
Oh, she wanted you to take her.
She said it a lot, but
Okay.
she wouldn't push. She
So
wouldn't push her.
she wouldn't come out, but she was wanting you to take her. Okay. So she asked you to.
Guys, watching these videos and reading the transcripts of these videos literally makes my skin crawl. To sit in a hospital room and claim that a mother you just slaughtered gave you permission to call her child out, it's a level of gaslighting that defies words. She's looking at the law enforcement officers, knowing they found a blood-stained couple in her own car, and she's still trying to portray herself as the tragic heroine of the story. Throughout the interrogation footage, what struck investigators the most was her vocal effect. She wasn't sobbing uncontrollably for her deceased friend. Her tone was calculated, testing out phrases to see what the detectives would nod along with.
I'm not admitting to anything I didn't
listen,
do.
Please, you can admit to taking a scalpel and opening a woman up and taking her baby and leaving. Okay, remember, you can admit to that.
Yes, I will admit to something that I did do.
You can admit to that, but you can't admit to this bomb threat?
No!
She even casually dropped details about the family's home life, trying to paint Reagan's husband, Homer, in a negative light by claiming he was hollering and cussing in the kitchen on previous nights, trying to scatter suspicion anywhere but on herself.
During the conversation, she had told me that Homer did the same thing to her and that she wasn't happy with him right now. She wasn't sure if she wanted to stay there, but I mean, all we did was talk about the...
But the detectives didn't buy a single word. They let her speak, letting her lock herself into a fabricated sequence of events that her own internet search history would later completely demolish. Taylor Parker thought she could talk herself out of an extraction, and instead she handed the state a roadmap of her own deception. In part 4, we are moving to the interrogation room in the courtroom, looking at the high-stakes capital murder trial where prosecutors brought over 150 witnesses to dismantle this performance piece by piece. Make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss the courtroom showdown. Leave a comment below with your thoughts on her interrogation excuses. Hit that like button, and I will see you on part 4. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe. This is Reality Distortions.